you quickly about Carl Jung. And if you don't know who Carl Jung or Sigmund Freud is, they're basically the founders of psychology. Carl Jung, from what I read, consciously took his conscious mind and delved into his subconscious. So he took that small point, that small percentage of who he was on a conscious level, and delved deep, deep into the subconscious, into the billions upon trillions of bits of information from every experience from his birth. And he lost himself in there. And he actually went through a few years of mental illness where he thought he was a prophet, he thought he had special powers, he thought he had different insights into the world. Now, essentially what I did is I delved into that subconscious myself with the help of the studies, the world religions, the philosophy, the psychology, mysticism, really delving deep into all these people that have contemplated life and questioned themselves, and taking all their questions and everything they knew, and I put it to myself. And the one thing you should know is when you embark on a spiritual journey, and when you start questioning yourself or looking within or deconstructing yourself, you're going to throw yourself off kilter. You spend most of your life within your ego and living the life that you know. When you realize how little you know, and when you start looking at the source and where that comes from, that identity starts to break down. Who you are, what you think of yourself, your biases, your prejudices, even the good things, whatever you identify with, knowing that that structure, it's basically an illusion. It's almost that your thoughts aren't yours, they're borrowed. They're borrowed from your society and from the people around you, and your thoughts actually shape who you are. And my belief is that it should be the other way around. From deep within me, that's who should shape my thoughts.
So smile today if you're a happy person, 'cause making graves in your mind is not imagination. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
I remember playing a game where there was a bunch of people around the table, and in the center of the table was a bowl full of money, say $100. Now, the object of the game as an individual is to get as much money as you can. The one condition to the game is, though, that every minute they double the amount of money in the bowl. So if you were to sit there for a few minutes, it would go from 100 to 200 to 400, 800, 16, 32, 64. You'd be into the thousands, to the tens of thousands within no time. But the thing is that as soon as the game starts, all it takes is one person, one greedy person to reach in and grab money, and then everyone goes in and the money's gone. And instead of having thousands, you basically have all these people splitting $100. This reminds me a lot of our world, where you hear that 1% of the population owns 90% of the wealth, and that 90% of us are fighting for the scraps at the table. It doesn't matter how many good people are around the table or how many good people are in the world, because all it takes is one or a handful of greedy people to manipulate, to corrupt, to basically steal, to destroy our resources, to get to the point where corporations are owning water, where clean drinking water isn't a human right. There's 2 billion people that don't have access to clean drinking water. There's supposed to be around 6 billion people in the world, and I've heard that we grow enough food for 7 billion people, but only 5 billion get fed.
We are all
The whole structure of our society is based on division. It's based on separating people. Separating people based on nationality, race, color, sexuality, gender. The more division there is in the world, the more we're separated, the easier it is to control. Whereas, if you took all the good people in the world and you didn't allow the division to take place, where you agreed on, say, 5 or 10 causes, the environment, protecting women and children, feeding the hungry, eliminating minor diseases, making sure that people have clean drinking water. If you took a handful of issues and you didn't allow the division to separate us, and you had all those people look at those issues, they'd get solved. There's a theory that you choose your life before you're born. That on some eternal or timeless dimension, your soul enters into a contract with the divine. And when you're ready, you stand before God and you tell him your plans. Hey God, it's Mark. On Earth, they call this an ego. This one's gonna be mine. There's only two things I want for my life. One is to know how ignorant I am. To know that when it comes to truth, I'm the only thing standing in my way. That there's no opposition, no enemies. That it's my own lack of awareness. I don't want to start a religion, start a cult, claim the truth. I just want to know who I am. The second thing I want, the second thing I need, is a job. In my life, I'm going to work for AIM Trimark, Franklin Templeton, CI, Asante, United Financial, TD. I'll know your corporate world. Kodak, Grandin Toy. I'll work in construction, contracting, cable and communications, building restoration, doing leadership courses, spiritual retreats, life skills, working in video stores, restaurants, golf courses, health clubs. But I'll get tired of working for people. And I'll want the opportunity to create something. Not based on my ego, but hopefully beyond it. One thing I'll learn in this world is that leadership, it's not about ruling over people. It's about serving them. It's about serving their best interest. I want to be the lowest paid CEO in the world. I'll work for minimum wage, $10 an hour. And that's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a donation. I'll work for what I get. But I'm asking if you'll give me $10. Employ me for 1 hour to try to create something in this world where the environment, abused women and children, people that are starving, homeless, our political system, our corporate system, our economy, just to try to create something healthy. And that's it. Oh yeah. Amen.
I've said my piece, not that you were listening. Intellectual delirium, it takes priority, so I wrote a song. Not too short, but not too long. I gave it a
Who was that? I don't know. But he kept calling me God? Did you tell him you weren't? No. I never had the chance.
So I wrote a song. Not too short, but not too long. I gave it a hook, wrote it by the book, but it was too personal, I guess. So now I see this is lack of understanding. Notwithstanding point of view, self-serving ways to serve for truth. Fire burns the air. getting late, and I'm getting